taking his own facing out towards the B bomb site, is unable to get the kill. Information being gained by both sides. The aggression also comes in from the CT forces of AGO. Very quiet. Heretics might burst into the B bomb site, explode in, and get a bomb plan out. Got enough utility to go for a mini execution. Look at the nades to respond though from Fika. That's going to do a lot of damage.
And they're already rotating a fourth player over to B. I mean, this is such a good read at the moment, and that's all comes down to MHL pushing through the bomb site, out through A, and so far, easy cleanup coming through. Not a single kill, not a single point of damage being converted to the CT side. 11-11. This is now 7 rounds in a row going into this second half, and Heretics not yet with a tactical pause, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've seen a single tactical pause so far in this map, at least. I mean, we've seen the tech pause obviously very early on in the matchup, but might have seen one from the AGO side, maybe two. The Heretics have not taken a single one in their own respect. Now's probably a good time to go for it. They haven't opted to do so. Just have the AKs in the AWP of standards. A very careful stance being delivered again. Very slow and passive at the moment.
Very, very slow indeed. And AGO, they're still pretty committed to quite an aggressive hold out through ramp. And trying to do a little bit of tag damage to try and force the boost off. A good response, though, coming out from the T's. And really, it comes down to this opening pick. It comes down to whether Heretics are able to find an opening kill out through ramp. And then they might continue the pressure. Because at the moment, the time's running down quite low. But they've still got so much utility to work with.
Here they come out of the gates. MHL going to swing in from the scaffolding, get one kill. Maka responds to the 4 versus 4. Lucky's got to try and enter against Ferlin and Groovy. Headshot angles taken. Lucky responds, and Groovy backs off for it. He knows where the bomb is, knows where Navera is, but loses the fight against the player over at Alley. And now Fika and Oscarich, last 2 players here standing by. Good old pick from Maka, and now it's all left to Oscarich. Back in the back of the A bomb site, will fall away, will look to save, I have a feeling. The nade even against the likes of Oscarich. Do even more damage as he presses forward, hopes to find something, but now his position's been given up. There should be no way for his retake here.
And it was about time. It was about time that we saw a round victory going the way of Heretics. And honestly, it comes down to a very different style of play. We saw for AGO, they, especially on T side, they were trying to take a lot of control out through ramp, and it was getting shut down. Where Heretics in that last round, or the round that we're currently looking at, is they said, you know what, you can take ramp control. We're going to hold on to all of your utility, we're going to run the clock low, and then we're going to take it back. It was all really down to that AWP being able to trade. Good frag coming out from Ali as well. We saw Navira wide swinging, finding the opening on the bomb side. They use the utility, they do a lot of damage, they try and force the CTs back to slow down the retake. And AGO, we should see a full buy investment to come back straight away. But Heretics, it was about time. It certainly was. 7 rounds in a row from AGO, and it's now the streak's over.
The Heretics lead remains defended here. I'm not sure if this is a... Let's have a look at the log real quick, see if this is technical or tactical. And if it's a tactical from AGO or Heretics. It's technical from AGO, so whatever technical issues they were having earlier in the map seems to have persisted here for the CTs. But still enough money to go for an investment. You know, again, 7 rounds in a row has built up an economy basis that should see some buys in. The AWPs, the M4s getting thrown around between players. MHL going to be left with a little bit of utility, actually, not a lot. Despite the AWP drop coming in for him. M4's out for everybody else here. Standard, the full sets coming in. Head Kevlar across most, not quite for Oscarich, but that's fine. The AKs and the AWP back for the Heritage side. They rebuy, and MHL immediately gets in with a great kill on Maka, kicking things off for the CT side. How quick was that flick?
What a response to come out from AGO as well. Just when you think the Heretics may have what it takes to be able to convert another round, MHL, the star of this lineup, being able to frag out massively. A good flick coming out. They hold on to the man advantage, and there's no response by the French side.
CTs will aggress down to the ramp position to regain that map control. Heretics are losing HP across the board. Kyo taking damage. But even that mid face once again. All 4 players do rotate out to the lower ramp position as they try and go for an A-site hit. Look at this gap by Groovy. Information, 2 picks found on the swing, and MHL continues to frag away. 2 bits with peace between these 2 players, and now Kyo is left alone. The bomb is on his back, the CTs are on a backstab, and there should just be no chance. There should be no way for Kyo to win this. 40 seconds sandwiched in. He's going to hear footsteps coming in across the board. He's got to try and force the issue on Furlan in particular. And he's just hiding, playing passive, just waiting for Kyo to pop around the corner. As soon as he does, he will be a dead man. All up to timing here for Furlan. Even as soon as that bomb plant gets tapped up, he'll be seen, he'll be sprayed. He'll be taken away as AGO get to 12, and that will be pretty bad for Heretics. They will have enough money to go for the investment, but there'll be certain players that will be a little bit limited.
Wow, this is honestly quite astonishing. I mean, I've seen Heretics playing Vertigo before, and you can definitely say that their city side is stronger, but not on this kind of a level. To be only able to get 1 round so far in the second half is very disappointing, and things are certainly going to have to change because we're tied up 12 rounds apiece. And this time around, it's some early pressure up to the B stairs. They might even try and boost a player up.
Much more of a BD false center around the Heretics side this time, and it looks like they are going for that. Navera jumping up as he hears the shots coming in. The flashbang over from Lucky gets Navera a simple kill, and they enter very quickly. Both these players coming up. The back 10 is going to play forward, but Navera in the back lines gets a secondary kill. Figu spotted out, sprays. Manic does take out 1, but Lucky quickly there for a trade, and should be able to find that AK as well. The entries towards this B site have found a 4-on-2 situation. The plant can be secured, and Heretics are in control.
And that round was literally Navera go kill. Like, that was such a smart play coming out from Heretics. What they do is they've even got a lurker of marker to try and stop any of the saving weapons. But what we see there from Navera, they get boosted up to one of the first times we've seen some early B stairs control to come out for the T side. Navera, he spots out, gets the first. All of the utility comes down. It rains nades over at that B bomb site. The swing comes out, the trade as well from the Mac 10 of Lucky. And they overwhelm the B bomb site. Heretics being able to pick up their 13th. Now, the buy is probably not going to come out in the next round. There's only going to get $1,400 in the next for AGO. Maybe if they held on to 2 players, 3 players, they could have decided to go for the forced buy investment. But there is no money to work for AGO.
That's big as well, this late into the game to have the economy being crippled.
Yeah.
Heretics may shut down the comeback and claim that all-important 2-0. Small pause coming out tactical for AGO. So again, I've lost track of how many pauses they've taken at this stage in the game. Either way, for this squad, it is a big, big pause to be happening here. Furlan has got a chance to drop something here. If he wanted to go full frontal, he could just go ahead and drop the second M4 to somebody. I'm going to go pistol out to MHL in this case. I don't think they're going to go that aggressive and that heavy. Down to eco status, and they've got a very little amount of loss bonus kicking their way. They'll get 1900 in this next round, which for some players will be enough to go for an investment here. So, yeah, pretty light buy around from AGO. You can already see Fiku going to try and use his deagle to the best of his chances. He misses his first headshot on Navera, does tag him in the chest, so 55 HP for the man. Even more response on the damage here with the nade, the Molotov against Groovy, forces them off position. They've got a bit of a stack going on here for the CTC. If they walk in, Heretics could still concede the round back to AGO. Indeed, Figu's getting more information, but all these bullets missing. Finally, they take out one player, but they eventually decide to back off.
Oh my goodness, this round is actually turning out to be quite successful. It's a man advantage, but it looks to be... Oh, that smoke doesn't actually land in through connector. The T's are in a really awkward position, especially with Furlan still alive. That is a great pincer maneuver coming in from Heretics to be able to pincer in together, take him down, and get rid of that rifle as well.
And now the A site is open. They've got players already pushed up here. Mackers with the AWP going to try and cut them off. What can they do with these pistols? They've sustained quite a bit of damage already, dropping most of those AKs here. The AWP picks up Fiku, Groovy and Oscarish, the next 2 players next up for the AGO side. And the AWP falls back. Lucky behind the corner, seeing a small foot in the midst of that smoke, knowing exactly where Oscarish is. Like that's how crucial positioning is in Counter-Strike. Because that one piece of info gives them the kill and gives them the round at this point. There should be no way the Groovy makes this happen in the end. Lucky does spot him out, get his 3K, and get Heretics to 14 on the T side. It should be a bit of a broken buy actually from AGO. Do they opt to go for it here? Do they opt to go for the save and rebuy to go to overtime? It looks like there's a force up right here, right now. Stop Heretics from getting to match point, and a match pause will now take place.
Oh my. This is really down to the wire. I mean, I've got to give, you know, no matter which way the result of this map ends up going, Jay, you've got to give so much credit for AGO to bring it back to at least this scoreline. They were 11-4 down, and it only really seems that these last few rounds, Heretics have been able to get a little bit of momentum together. Now, the one really unfortunate thing is there is no money to go for the AWP. We've seen how vital MHL has been with the AWP on this CT side, and unfortunately, the money's not line is not there for him to invest it.
And if they lose control of this one, AGO on second stage loss bonus, they're going to get $2,400 off the back of this round if they can lose it, and that just won't be enough to go for a buy here. Oscarish needs to hold on control, and he just can't do it. 2-for-1 trade on the Heretics side already entering. I'm going to go enter to the B bomb site yet, but they've got tons of control off the back of this man advantage now. There's only one player on B site. If Groovy falls, then that probably should be round over and storming the B site immediately from there. Heretics will continue to play out their default, but AGO, they've lost so much in such a short space of time.
This is really smart from Heretics. You know, a lot of people can think, oh, you've taken down 2 B defenders, you could just rush into B, but, you know, they don't know if there's been an over-rotate at the CTs, there's a fast rotate into B. They slow it down, and they're trying to make AGO make the mistakes. We're looking at the moment all across the map for the Ts. They are slowing it right down. They're waiting for the aggression to come out from the CTs, and as soon as one pick goes their way, it's a 4v2, you can pretty much assume that that round's going to be over. Just prodding some map control. XMS, Molotov going out to the sandbags position, and Furlan's right here. They're going to have that information. They know exactly where he is. Even the HGs can do some damage. And Lucky, he's starting to walk up from B. Groovy goes down, and it's all down to MHL. And I'll tell you what, Jay, this is going to be an easy 15th.
It should be, but
Ooh,
MHL gets
okay.
2 kills, and the bomb's still back at T-spawn. He's got 1v1 duels that he can still find against Kiyashima next up. Got a face around his corner. Oh my god, he's done it! 3 kills for MHL, and he's got to get to the B bomb site now. Can he shut down Lucky? This would be an incredible clutch if MHL makes it happen.
1 versus 1. Lucky, I'm going to plant safe. He's got a bit of work to do. Does he decide to aggress or play the passive angle? MHL, now they know where his position were. They know that there's no way that he's going to be coming out from the ramp area, or the stairs area, I should say. Lucky's going to be looking for it, but the reposition, MHL, when does he show a footstep? When does he decide to throw the HE and give his information away? Lucky's
just got to play so disciplined, he'll hear it now. And MHL tapping it, no kit for him, he's got to find his kill pretty quick. He does get that spray together. A 4K, a 1 versus 4 for the man, and AGO just cling on to life, or do